Hello guys, welcome to StudyIQ. My name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily Hindu analysis video. In the morning these videos come, in the evening the MCQ lessons they come. So both the lessons you need to follow religiously. 1st of November it is, a new month is starting and it's all a huge responsibility now that you go in a consistent way, in a focused manner. And focused means problems will come again and again, but your practice on your focus must be very regular, and you assess yourself daily and make daily timetable. That timetable may vary day to day, but that must be there every day. So these a few things you should do every day, like this newspaper reading, or you may say this analysis video and the MCQ lesson. They will keep your preparation very consistent and very strong. So that's why the importance is very huge. And these paid content by 3 important faculties available at 159 rupees per month. That's affordable and very important, and they are needed actually by you. Description regarding these courses is given below the video. You can call on these 2 numbers. Any query, any issue if you are facing regarding any of your card, any of your payment issue, you can call on these 2 numbers. All the solutions will be there. PDF you will get here on Telegram channel, which is given here on this Facebook group. So send me a request there. And you can follow me on Instagram too. First issue: sex ratio improves in country, birth and death rates dip. You can see total fertility rate means a lady or a female in her lifetime, how many kids she gives birth to on an average. Means normally the age group is taken from 15 to 49. Means in this age group, how many kids she would give birth to. So on an average, if it is more than 2, then the population will rise. If it is 2.1 on an average, then it's a replacement rate. If it is less than 2, means the population is gonna decline there. So that's the situation. And first time in India's history after independence, fertility rate is declining in 12 states, and it has fallen below 2 children per woman. So that's why it's a good sign for the future. This report, the National Health Profile 2019, has been given by Central Bureau of Health Intelligence (CBHI), and important demographic, socio-economic, health status, health finance indicators, infrastructure, human resource, and other health sector issues are taken. And it's a very important source for information on various communicable and non-communicable disease also, because this report tells that non-communicable diseases, they dominate over the communicable ones in India today, and that's really a concerning issue. Non-communicable means cancer, diabetes, coronary heart disease, kidney disease, they are rising, and that's really a huge concern, and it is affecting the masses. Means maximum number of victims of these patients are coming from poor class. So how they can manage these huge diseases? This burden is really problematic, and government cannot support all the treatments for diseases like cancer, so diabetes and all these. So that's why it's a huge challenge. So this report tells a lot of important things, and it says that sex ratio is improving in rural areas. It is improving for 3 numbers from 946 to 949, and in urban areas especially from 900 to 929. It's a typical problem in India where people become richer, then their mindset that does not change. It is reflected here. You see the sex ratio in rural areas, it's good comparatively, but in urban areas it is just 900 and now 929. Means what it shows? It shows that more cases of sex determination, more cases of sex selection there, and misuse of the technologies there which are available in the urban areas. So that's why that's the case. Now Kerala is a great example. 1084 is the sex ratio there. Overall urban areas the situation is more improved, 1091. And this report shows that estimated birth rate, death rate, both are declining. That means less number of births and less number of deaths. So the situation is improving on both the fronts. Less birth rate means good family planning, and less death rate means good health infrastructure. That's the issue. And here Delhi, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, lowest fertility rate, and for 12 states the fertility rate is declining. For 9 states, it has reached replacement levels of 2.1. 2.1 means mother and father, they are two, and they are 2 kids. So what's going to happen after some years when they both will leave the world? 2 people will be left on the earth. So this way, this is the replacement rate of the population. So it's not a very interesting phenomena to tell, but that's how the population system works. So this is the replacement rate. 2 is the replacement rate, but on an average 2.1 is taken as a replacement rate. So that's the issue. You can see the vital statistics there. Birth rate in Bihar, it is highest. Kerala only 14.2. Death rate in Chhattisgarh 7.5. J&K 4.8. So these are crucial ones, and that's really an improvement in all these areas. And you can see Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir, in many indexes, it is very progressive, and it remains in top 10 always. So that's why it's a great thing to tell. But whatever they claim that we are bringing development there, we are bringing improvement there, improvements are there, development is already there. So these statistics, they talk about these claims in the area of education, in the area of health sector, in the area of the death of these birth giving mothers, means the maternal mortality rate and infants death rate, they are very less in Jammu and Kashmir already. That's the issue. And this report also tell about the detailed data on health, manpower availability in public sector, and other important statistics are also given. So that's why it's important. They may ask you about that. Important for GS paper 2 and 3 both. Next, Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh, they both are union territories now, and LGs has been assigned for both the union territory there. So Mr. Mathur is there for Ladakh, and Mr. Murmu is there for first LG of J&K. Both are union territories now. So that's an important issue. Many articles will come on this problem because it's not a simple thing. Many administrative challenges will also be there. So we will discuss many articles in the upcoming month. Next, core sector output falls 5.2% in September. Every month they release this data, and core sector 8 industries are there: electricity, steel, coal, natural gas, petroleum and all other products there, and crude oil, fertilizers, and one more is left, I think cement. So that's why, if we leave aside fertilizers, where there is a positive growth, all other sectors there is negative growth, and overall it's 5.2% decline in the output, and that's really concerning, and it is telling us that everything is not good, everything is not fine with our economy, as the ministers are saying, and it's a huge problem and a consistent problem. Consistently our production is very low, and core sector growth is really vital for our economy. Around 40% is the contribution of the industrial output there, and here coal fell steeply by 20.5% in September, crude oil by 5.4%, natural gas by 4.9%, and cement, steel, electricity, everywhere there is decline. So this is really concerning. If we target $5 trillion economy, then it's really a problematic thing, because there must have been a good progress, but here it is decline. And now the festival is also over, so the car sales, automobile sales will also be down very heavily, because the discounts will not be able to stay there, and whatever money people had, they had invested there on the festival season. So it's a very difficult time, and as these economists were saying that after Diwali it will be a very difficult time for our economy, because we are moving with a slowdown and we may face a huge crisis now. So it's a huge responsibility now for the government. So it's important for GS paper 2 and 3 both, because the steps will be taken by government and the important bodies like RBI and all, and economy is concerning here. So 2 and 3 both. Next, government questions. A huge issue has come up. WhatsApp spyware. Pegasus is the name. It's an Israeli company, and it enters in your phone. It gets installed very easily, even with the call which is not answered, WhatsApp call. Then also it can be installed there, and then it will start snooping there. It's a spy software. Spyware means any software which does the work of a spy. It will record your voices through microphone. It will record videos through camera. The phone camera means without your allowance, these things will be done, and you will not know about that. Now, who is the target there? It says that around 1400 people in India, they are target, and mainly journalists, lawyers, Dalit and human rights activists, they are targeted there. So that's really a concerning thing, because it's a specific group which is always the target of trollers, and they criticize the government too. So their numbers are attacked there, and government is now saying that we will not leave these culprits there, and they are questioning the WhatsApp authority there, that how this thing was done, and how the crores of people, their security is compromised. So everything is there on our phones today, everything is there on our systems today, and all the time the phones are connected to internet. That's the biggest problem. The connection is always there, means any software is there, then it can consistently work, and it can collect a lot of information. Every app asks you to give permission to access the gallery there, to access the your documents there, your passwords and other logins and all these details. These apps they can take, and here these total spyware softwares, they are devastating, and means that you're not secure in this world. You cannot keep anything safe there. If your social media accounts can be hacked, if your crucial information, your bank details are there, you are accessing apps there, your data is there, your bank information is there, your account details are there, everything is accessible there. You think that you are entering passwords and pins there, but these things are not secure. That's a truth there. Yesterday it was information that on dark net, a lot of people's debit and credit card data are on sale. Means on dark net there are shops and they are selling these important details. Means your security can be easily compromised. What the government is doing for that, this is a big question. They may ask questions to WhatsApp authority, but what they are doing, this is nothing in this sense, because if we see the severity, if we see the advancement in these areas, then in comparison to that, we are doing very little. We do not have a robust cyber policy, we do not have a robust cyber law, and many issues are there which are compelling us to ask these questions, but government is silencing all the questions today. They are pushing for more and more Aadhaar linkages. The Facebook is saying that we should settle this matter in Supreme Court, because we cannot allow Aadhaar cards to be linked with that. It is not going to be a secure one, and government still pushes for that. So government is just saying a single phenomenon of national security, but here you can see what can happen very easily. Within seconds, everything can be compromised, and it is all the data. They are pushing for more and more digitized economy, more and more digital payments. Our money is there in the accounts. We are accessing everything from the mobile phones, and they can be easily compromised. Means nothing is safe. Tomorrow we can left with nothing, neither our security nor our money. So that's why these things are possible. These are not negative things. These are harsh realities that we need answers for. And this matter is related to data localization issue, where the physical servers must be there in India. Today, these all companies, they are mostly established in China or America, and their servers are there. So that's the issue. It is the issue of data sovereignty also. That's also an important point. So they may ask you to write a mains question on data sovereignty. All these points will be very crucial. It's a prime example there, that how easy they can compromise there. And what government does after that, it just asks questions to these companies, because it can do nothing after that, because it doesn't have any specific laws or policies there. So it is the matter of data security. One more issue is there. Who are the targets there? There are the targets journalists, lawyers, Dalit and human rights activists. Means they are a specific group in India today. They are target of trollers already. They are target of governments also. So that's why it is also a huge question. Why specific type of people, they are attacked with this spyware and all, and why their security is compromised? Means that is also telling about something else, and these suspicions are rising. So we will have to discuss many articles on this topic, because huge articles will come. It's not a simple issue, it's a very complex and huge issue. It's a concern. So important for GS paper 2 and 3 both. Next, Herculean task to find new host for UN meet. You see, COP21 was the most important, the Paris Climate Summit, and that was the COP of UNFCCC. COP24 happened in Katowice, Poland, and 25 was about to happen in Chile. First, it was to be in Brazil, then it stepped down and Chile came in the picture, and Chile was about to host it this year. Now, it is all cancelled. Chile says we are not capable to host it. Why? Severe protests are going on. It started with some student protests where hikes were there in rail metro fares, and wealth inequality issue was so prominent that it triggered people. They came on road, and huge protests were going on. Now it looks like the situation of Hong Kong, and it is going on. And due to that reason, Chile finds it totally incapable that they can host this event. So it's a huge concern because it is not possible for these institutions to host these events in any other country immediately, because huge preparations are needed. There are security issues. Many ministers, bureaucrats, activists, journalists, they all will join these summits. So it is not possible. People from 200 countries will come there. So it's a huge deal. That's why it is not possible that this year will this will be the summit, and COP25th will be shifting for next year for sure. So that's why it's a problem. And regarding the Chile condition, many more reports will come, but now these protests are going on. Yesterday it was there in the newspaper, and today it says that it's a Herculean task to find a new host for this UNFCCC meeting, the COP25th. Next, Hyderabad is appearing in the UNESCO's list of creative city, and it's the gastronomy category because of its cuisine there. City of biryani, kebabs, halim, kalu, and shikampur, chowki diners. This is the reason, and these are delicious foods, and they are world famous foods now. And this city is appearing now for the creative city and in gastronomy category. Two cities from India, Mumbai in film category, and this in gastronomy category it is the Hyderabad city. So these two are important one, UNESCO's list of creative cities, and they may ask you about these cuisines and other important tourism issues from Hyderabad. Kaktiya dynasty was there, and since that time these issues are going on, and the industry, the food industry employs 12% of the city's population directly or indirectly. So that's why it's a huge thing. So they may ask you in the prelims about that. And regarding the ancient history of this region, they may ask you. Next, Cyclone Maha. It's information for Lakshadweep Islands and Kerala coast. Cyclones are a natural phenomena, and they are associated with warm conditions, more evaporation, and cyclonic conditions. They are created when the temperature is going very high, and more sunlight is there, more and more evaporation is happening, and the latent heat is released, and that creates the cyclones. So although these cyclones are not that much severe, and surely it is coming in the Arabian Sea. We all know west to Kerala it is Arabian Sea, and the Bay of Bengal's cyclones are more severe because that water body is surrounded from land parts on three sides. That's why their evaporation levels and their severity levels of cyclones are very strong. But here it is Cyclone Maha, and again cyclonic conditions are related to summer conditions. Anticyclones are related to winter conditions, because in the anticyclone the air comes towards ground, but in cyclonic conditions the air goes towards upside. So that's the main difference there. Okay, so that's the issue, and only these things are important because that it is not that much severe a cyclone there. Next, we come to the articles now. The article of the day, it is regarding the India-Saudi Arabia relations. Recently, the Riyadh summit happened, and Modi ji met with the king there, and they signed 12 MOUs there. You see, many issues are going on in India. The Kashmir issue is going on, the Ayodhya Ram Mandir issue is going on. Both have a common thing, that is the Islamic factor. Islamic countries are making comments about the Kashmir situation as the Turkey did, but the relation with Saudi Arabia they are standing very strong, and we are just being very positive here. We are finding all those positive points there where we can improve. Saudi Arabia is very strong in the investment area, and it is pledging for $100 billion investment. It did it already, and new investments are coming in the strategic petroleum reserve area and the Jamnagar facility of Reliance. There also it is gonna invest there. So positivities are there, and we are recognizing those positive areas. The investment is certainly gonna boost the Make in India issue. Why? Because the populations are rising in Saudi Arabia. We are still the largest expatriate community there, so it cannot allow many people in the future. So the cheap labor is there in India. It will stay in India because Saudi Arabia will come here to invest. So these industries will flourish here in India, and there the cheap labor will work. So this is how employment will rise, and the population pressure will not be there on Saudi Arabia. Okay, that will not be there, and it will boost the Indian economy, and the Make in India phenomena will become stronger there. So that's the main thing to discuss here. And the writer said that a lot of disturbance, a lot of unusual turbulence is going on in this region. If you talk about India-Pakistan tension, if you talk about crisis in Yemen, Syria, and Afghanistan, all these things are going on, all confusions are going on, and many positivities, many negativities are there. The Baghdadi was killed, but the next successor is also announced there. So the groups are also working, countries are also working, big powers like Russia, America, they are working already in this region, and China is also stepping in the Afghanistan situation. So a lot of something that is going on. But India-Saudi Arabia relations are standing strong there. Leaderships in both the countries, they should be complimented for their sagacity in focusing on leveraging their intrinsic bilateral synergy instead of chasing the various wild geese. The role of Saudi Arabia in Yemen is very controversial, but regarding India's bilateral relation, it is all good. So nonetheless, both sides believe that what joins them bilaterally is far more significant. So the joint areas, the common areas are focused here, and that's a positive thing here. Okay, now it commended India's decision making in Jammu and Kashmir, and that is totally contrary to Turkey's opinion. So that's good. We also said that it was very sad that the Saudi Aramco facility was targeted. Who did that? We did not comment on that, but we condemned that. So both the countries are in support of each other. First naval exercise between these two countries is going to be held very soon, and these issues are going on. Ayodhya dispute, Jammu Kashmir issue, both are having Muslim populations involved there, but they are being positive about both there. Now the trade, although that is not the best trade and it's more in favor of Saudi Arabia there, but a lot of potential is there, so we will have to improve there. And the homeward remittance which is coming from to India from Saudi Arabia, that remains steady at $11 billion because a lot of people are living there. Still the largest foreign community, Indians, are in Saudi Arabia, so that's good. The Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 is well open now, and they are targeting important 8 major partner countries there. India is one among them, so that's a great thing for India. It's a great respect for India. They have proposed $44 billion in this 1.2 MBPD PSU refinery at Raigad. So that's a PSU refinery that's really great on the India's west coast in Ratnagiri, I think. And the Reliance Jamnagar facility, which is the biggest one in the world, where a fifth of its shares is going to be acquired by Saudi Arabia, and they are going to participate in India's strategic petroleum reserves. Okay, you must be remembering the facilities of Padur and Odisha's facilities there. So that's important. There they are going to invest, and additionally $100 billion investment is going to come. So these are important things. We have signed 12 bilateral documents, and from our side, Prime Minister Modi also listed 5 trends in India which are positive and supportive: technology and innovation, infrastructure development, HRD, environment and business friendly governance there. So these 5 important pillars are there where they will take this trajectory to the highest level of success, and especially in the bilateral relation. Now both the leaders, you see, they are very influential. He is the king, and in India, Modi ji, they are very strong politically. So centralizing tendencies are there in both the regimes. So it is a very smooth functioning in terms of decision making. And SPC, the Strategic Partnership Council, the bilateral council, is gonna be established there, and that will be co-chaired by Indian Prime Minister and the Saudi Crown Prince. So that would be a hopeful thing to do, and it's a very positive sign. It will certainly expedite the decision making process. So that's important. Potential areas they have recognized, like the infrastructure and agriculture, startups, skilling, and IT sector, where both countries can work together. It will boost Make in India. Shifting some labor intensive establishments from Saudi Arabia to India is going to be a big move there, as I explained to you. In the ease of doing business report by World Bank, both countries are performing very well. They are the most improved economies, and both are at similar ranks, like India at 63rd rank and Saudi Arabia at 62nd rank. So it's a great improvement, it's a great achievement there. And similar conditions are there. Saudi Arabia is stronger in some specific area where we are not that much strong in the investment area, and we are strong in expertise, we are strong in industrial aspect. So Saudi Arabia can have the participation there. So that's important. This issue is important for GS paper 2, and you may say 3 also, because it is about the industries and economy. So that's important. Next, Pehlu Khan's case. A new development is there. The new Congress government in Rajasthan, they started with the new SIT probe there, and now Rajasthan High Court has given an order, and they have quashed the cow smuggling case against the sons of Pehlu Khan, and it says that it was all deliberate and it was done, and this case had all the ingredients of a hate crime. That's why it's very significant development there. And the Rajasthan Bovine Animal Act was applicable on these sons. Now these cases are false. It is decided by the court, High Court there. Normally high courts, they do not intervene after filing of the charge sheet there, but they have the power to do so. And it is quite apparent that they were trying perversely to build a narrative that it was the victims who were primarily at fault. Means, what is the fault? The charges were like that they were smuggling cows to kill them, but it was not true, and they were involved in some dairy business, and for that they were shifting these animals. They bought them from some Jaipur Mela there, and they were taking them to New Haryana. So in between that path, they were stopped, and Pehlu Khan was lynched totally there. He succumbed to his injuries, and it was all well open under the daylight. The video was shared everywhere, but still all the evidences were available, but still people ignored it, and the labeling was there that they were smuggling cows, but the actual case, the actual charge, actual issue was totally false. They were not smuggling cows. This is open now. Rajasthan has an anti-lynching law now, and that's a great development, and the new government worked on this issue, and it was a commendable move. All the states, all the important personalities, the authorities, even the Supreme Court judges, they hailed this move, and now we have to see, is it going to be a new phase in this situation and in these kind of cases. It's an example there. Okay, if there is sufficient evidence, if now they find, because that case has been proved to be a false one, so now certainly they will find some evidences that real perpetrators were dropped from the case deliberately. It should try to get a fresh trial ordered against those responsible and secure appropriate punishment for them. So that's the issue. Important for GS paper 1 and 2 both, because anti-lynching law is a very important issue. Now, a important thing, the incident that happened when Greta Thunberg, a 17-year-old kid, she made a speech there in the UN summit, and that was a dramatic one. That was for sure. It was a dramatic one. It was over emotional. But the writer said that we are focusing on something which is nonsensical. She's a girl of 17 years of age, so it is not a huge thing that she made some scripted voices there, or she talked in that way that was very dramatic one, and the whole world started trolling that issue. So that's not any issue. The issue is that what she is saying something very genuine, although this issue was totally diverted, means some people were not recognized but she was recognized. That was not a huge issue, and nobody is calling her an important protagonist there. The issue is that what she is saying, that's important. She is representing the youth there, she's representing the next generations there. That's important because she is a kid. So the main problem we are creating is for the kids, for the next generations to come, and we are not caring about that. And that's why this sentence, how dare you, remains important, because we are seriously daring and we are putting our next generations into trouble. We are not even giving them a proper clean air to breathe. We are giving them plastic pollution. We are giving them very dangerous chemicals in soil, in water, in aquatic animals, in their food, everywhere. So we are not fulfilling our responsibility, and we are creating a lot of troubles for their survival. That's why this issue is very important. Since 1972, when this report came, the limits to growth report, that's really important for prelims examination. This report came in 1972. It was a simulation of exponential economic and population growth with a finite supply of resources, means resources are limited. First time we fixed that, and we accepted that we have to go with a sustainable path, otherwise these resources will end very, very soon. This was supported and funded by these institutions. Club of Rome, this was asked in 2016 question paper, so that's important. And this gathering was there, and these people were associated with that, Donna Meadows and Dennis Meadows. These two people, they were also asked in a question there. And this was the limits to growth report, means there is a limit. This growth is not unlimited, and we are doing it at certain cost, and the cost is the environment, atmosphere, and the ecosystem there. And that's why we are putting the next generations into a deep trouble there. So this is the issue, and the young ones are important because our hopes are on them. As she said that you are coming to us for all your hopes, future hopes, that we will lead this world, but what you are giving us as a capacity. A separate report came in Delhi that half of the kids, they are asthmatic, allergic, they are diabetic. So what we are giving to our kids, they are struggling badly with these basic things. If the health is not there, if the balance is not there, if they are haunted by the dangerous disease like cancer, diabetes in this young age, then this is not the good future that we are giving to them, and this is seriously a great threat to their existence. So all countries collectively, they have to think over this issue. Many important points you can take out of it. And she was not speaking on behalf of some children and youth in any particular community or a country. She was representing the voice of the young in a generic sense. That's why we should focus on that issue. Just say we call it in Hindi, we have to understand the real gist there. हमें भावना समझनी है उस चीज की, वो है the mood, the drama, the script is not important for us. We can do it by any other message, any other movie also, that is also scripted, so there is no problem with that, and we should not divert this issue like that. The gist is very, very important, and it is the adults and older people today who might feel rattled by Ms. Thunberg's speech. When she spoke in the UN Assembly, many in the audience could be heard laughing, and that was really, really sad. They saw her more as a spectacle than a real person. They were accustomed to routine expression of concern about climate change. As the Trump said that it's a hoax, climate change is a hoax, but Trump doesn't know the future generations will not breathe a clean air, and that's happening in front of our eyes. We saw many examples, like we saw for the poles, the southern pole, north pole, what's happening there, this is all visible. What's happening with the aquatic animals, we know. What we are eating, we know. The incidence of cancers, they are rising, we know. And it is all the lifestyle troubles created by this imbalance. So that's an important lesson, and we will meet again in the evening. Thanks a lot. Keep watching. It was Amit Sani. This is a very important topic for essay, and this example is very prime. You can derive many points there. So sit properly and think about these articles and make your own points. Around 10 points you should make out of every article. Okay, so thanks a lot. Keep watching. It was Amit Sani.